Hello guys, my name is Stefan from Machine-CLIRIK machinery company. Our company already concentrate on mineral grinding mill manufacturing for over 16 years. And so far we have many kinds of grinding mills working in over 120 countries already. Okay, today I feel very happy to introduce our YGM series high pressure suspension grinding mill to all of you. Actually, many customers ask me so many questions about this mill before, like the history of this mill, like the workable material, the suitable fitting size, the suitable fitting moisture, the output size, capacity, installation, dust, noise, many questions. So today I will explain to all of you about these items or these questions one by one very clearly, okay? For the history of this mill, actually our YGM series high pressure grinding mill is upgraded from traditional Raymond mill. You know, the Raymond mill already existed in the world for over 100 years, and the first time produced by a guy produced in Berlin of Germany. And finally, from the years past, many countries guys try to, company try to improve this machine, and finally it has different names like the VR mill, YGM, MTM, MTW, these kinds of series, but our company still called this machine to be YGM because YGM is the first name that we start to produce this machine. Okay, now let me introduce the questions which customers ask before. The first thing is about this machine workable material. Actually, YGM mill is suitable to many kinds of material whose most hardness is smaller than 9, such as bauxite, manganese, iron oxide, barite, these kinds of stones. And about the feeding moisture, we suggest the feeding moisture is smaller than 6%, okay? But normally the smaller moisture will have the bigger capacity because the moisture will affect the working current of the mill. But in a word, there is no big difference for the capacity, no matter the feeding moisture is 1%, 3%, like that. So this is also advantage of this machine. Okay, about the feeding size for this machine, it depends on the material. If you feed the hard material, we suggest the feeding size smaller than 15 millimeter, like 5 millimeter to 15 millimeter. This size is, the best fitting size after we make many experiments. And if you feed the soft material like the calcium carbonate, barite, these kinds of material, then the feeding size just smaller than 20 millimeter will be okay. But if the feeding size cannot be or smaller than 1 millimeter size, like you cannot feed the powder or be sent to this machine, because there are two reasons. Firstly, if you feed the too small material to this machine, the material cannot keep between roller and the ring, so it cannot crush or impact the material. The second thing is the vibration for this machine will be very high. It will damage the machine also. Okay, and in the same time, you cannot feed the large size material, like all the material size bigger than 20 millimeter size. We also do not suggest that. Okay, if the material is too big, then the machine inside the roller and the ring, the grinding chamber will be easy to be blocked also. Okay, then we talk about the output size. Okay, actually for this YGM mill, it can make 33 micron to 613 micron size. We can adjust it between this size range. Actually, for the traditional Raymond mill, it cannot make 33 micron size, this fine size. But for our YGM mill, we use the new type, turbo type classifier for this machine. So it can separate 33 micron size out. So it's about 400 mesh, okay, with over 90% passing through rate. And also, if you can make the very coarse size like 600 micron size, then we can reduce the running speed of classifier, and also can enlarge the blower air capacity to make the capacity bigger, and also the size will be coarser a lot, okay. Then many customers also asking about the lifetime of the machine and spare parts. Actually, for our YGM mill, this machine normally it can easily work about 10 to 15 years very easily. But if you grind the hard material very often, the lifetime will be also shorter. As for the spare parts, it's the same. It's the same principle. If you grind the soft material, lifetime will be very long, but for hard material, lifetime will be shorter, like this, okay. Finally, many customers very cared about the noise and the dust because of local strictly environment policy. Okay, let me tell you for the noise for this machine. See, for example, if the machine is working, I'm standing nearby the machine within 1 meter, okay, 1 meter, then the sounds can be smaller than 90 dB. And if the distance is about 10 meter, then the sounds can control to be, the noise control to be smaller than 75 dB, okay. Actually, this noise can easily accept in many developed countries, so it is also okay. As for the dust, why the machine has a dust? Let's think about where the dust will come out. Firstly, it's from the crushing parts. When you feed the stones to the crushers, there are some dust out, okay. And also the feeding parts from the vibrating feeder to the mill, it also have the dust out. And also the silo inlet part also have the dust, and the packing parts. These 4 parts totally. Actually, for the machine, for the mill, there is no dust out, because you can see this is the whole line, okay. The whole production line is a closed working system. It has negative pressure and positive pressure. You can see the air will go inside. The air will go inside from the feeding parts to the to the mill, and then the air to the cyclone collector, and then to the blower again, and then to the mill. So it is a cycled system. The air will be recycled in the system. So the dust only come out from that 4 parts, but if you choose a high configuration with good back filter system, then you can solve this problem. All the dust will be collected and removed out, so you can keep the factory to be very clean. Okay, thank you very much. Thank you.